A very good morning, my dear students. Let us discuss the metallurgy lesson again with the remaining topic. So, in this session, we are going to see the extraction of crude metal and the refining process. So, what are the topic? The topics are: what are the steps involved in extraction of crude metal and thermodynamic principle, then roasting, calcination, smelting, reduction by carbon, reduction by hydrogen, reduction by metal, the auto reduction, the refining process, right? So, the first topic. So, what are the steps involved in extraction of crude metal? For getting the metal, the ore has to be converted into oxides. So, conversion of the ore into oxides, right? Step 2, the metal oxide. After conversion, the metal oxide is reduced to metal. So, the reduction of the metal oxide to elemental metals, right? So, now question number 2. Write the thermodynamic principle behind the extraction of crude metal. So, 2 steps we have seen. So, ore is converted into oxide, oxide is converted into metal, right? So, what are the thermodynamic principle? The reduction of oxide is easier than when compared to the reduction of other compounds of metal, and hence before reduction the first ore is converted into oxide of metal, right? That is a principle. So, first we have to convert the ore into oxide, because reduction of oxide is easier than this. Question number 3. So, the conversion of ore into oxides, the first step, if you want to convert the ore into oxide, the first you have to do this. So, what is that? Roasting. So, initially we have to make the roasting on ore. So, the concentrated ore first is oxidized by heating it with the excess of oxygen in a suitable furnace below the melting point of the metal, right? That is called roasting. So, in the roasting, so what are the ores are converted? We will see that. So, in this equation we will see lead sulfide, galena ore, right? On roasting, it is oxidation process. Roasting means oxidation, because concentrated ore is oxidized by heating. It gives lead oxide and sulfur dioxide. The metal lead turns to lead oxide. The same manner, zinc sulfide, zinc blende turns to zinc oxide, metal turns to oxide, right? And sulfur dioxide is removed. Then cupric sulfide, cuprous, it is not a cupric, cuprous. Copper has +1 oxidation state, sulfur has -2. So, cuprous sulfide turns to cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide is released. Okay, first the step, the metal turns to metal oxide. The metal in ore turns to metal oxide, right? So, these 3 equations are balanced. You will see lead left side 1, right side also 1. So, oxygen right side 3, 1 plus 2, 3. So that's why we have given 3 by 2. 2 to cancel 3. Sulfide, left side 1, right side 1. Right? So these three equations the same manner for balancing also. So roasting also removes the impurities. Roasting process also remove the impurities such as arsenic, sulfur, phosphorus by converting them into their volatile oxides. The arsenic turns to arsenic oxide, sulfur turns to sulfur dioxide, phosphorus turns to phosphorus pentoxide, P4O10. Here I have given the balanced equation. So right side we see arsenic 2, left side, so make it 2, write 2, then right side 3, so 3 by 2, 2 to cancel means 3. So in the same way, here sulfur 8, right? So right side also make it 8 in the coefficient. So oxygen 16, so here the front of O2 8 will come. Then P4O10, phosphorus pentoxide, right? P4O10, here P4 phosphorus, so 10 oxygen, so 5 O2 we can write it. So the conversion of ore into metal oxide, the first step, roasting, right? So let us move to the next one. That also conversion of ore into metal oxide. The second process name is calcination. Calcination. Calcination, in which the concentrated ore is strongly heated in the absence of air. Roasting, presence of air. Calcination is the absence of air, right? So during the process, the water of crystallization present in the hydrated oxide escapes as moisture. For example, here the lead carbonate, calcium carbonate, zinc carbonate, right? So these are the ores turns to metal oxide. Lead turn to lead oxide, calcium, calcium oxide, zinc, zinc oxide, right? Here the decomposition reaction, these equations already balanced, simple equation, right? So left side lead 1, right side also lead 1, oxygen left side 3, right side also 3. So first three equations same manner we can balance it. And dolomite MgCO3 and CaCO3, here MgO, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide will form. These two are alkali earth metal oxides, right? And carbon dioxide. For balance equation, left side you see 6 oxygen, right side 2 into 2 4, 5 plus 1 6. Please remember, the concentrated ore is strongly heated in the absence of air. That is called calcination. Here ore converted into oxides. During calcination of hydrated ore, the water of hydration is expelled as vapor. For example, suppose we have ferric oxide. So water hydration, here after heating, water alone is expelled, right? So alumina with water, on heating alumina and vapor is released out. These two equations also will be held in calcination. Next, what is smelting? What is smelting? It is the second step, reduction of metal oxide. So metal oxide turns to metal. For that we can get the first process is smelting. Smelting. So what is the difference between melting and smelting? The solid ice cube is melted in the physical process, right? From the liquid water again turn to solid when we reduce the temperature, right? We have known the process. But here the ore, once the ore is converted into metal, from the metal we are unable to get the ore, right? So extraction already is done on the ore, so we can get the metal. So from the ore, from the metal we are unable to get the ore. That process is known as smelting process. It is a reduction process. Reduction process, right? Here the metal oxide can be reduced to metal by using suitable reducing agent. So when we use a reducing agent, we can get the metal. So what are the reducing agent? Carbon, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, aluminum, and other reactive metal such as sodium. So these are the reducing agents is used to reduce the metal oxide. And point number 2, so in this method flux also we can use it. So chemical substance that forms an easily fusible with the slag with the gangue, right? So gangue means what? Rocky impurities, non-metallic impurities that also easily combine with the flux. That's why flux also we can use it. The reducing agent such as carbon monoxide, that also utilized, right? And aluminum, that also is added to the concentrated ore. Now the mixture is smelted by heating at an elevated temperature above the melting point of the metal. It is called elevated temperature in a smelting furnace. I hope you can understand about the smelting. Smelting is the reduction of metal oxide, right? Here reducing agent is used to reduce the metal. Now we see the equation. Suppose in the ore ferric oxide is present. So ferric oxide is turned to iron, metal, right? So which reducing agent? We can use carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide. Suppose we take 1:3 ratio, means here left side iron 2, right side also 2, then carbon 3 in carbon monoxide left side, so right side also make it 3. So here after 3 into 2, 6 oxygen, so 3 plus 3, 6 oxygen. Equation is balanced, right? Here ferric oxide returns to iron. Okay, in this process when we use this flux combined with the gangue, non-metallic impurities, it turns to slag. It is not required, right? It is eliminated. It is insoluble impurities, slag, calcium silicate. So after forming the metal, the slag is removed. Next, reduction by carbon in the smelting process. By using the reducing agent carbon, the metal is reduced. We see, suppose we have a ore, zinc oxide or magnesium oxide and cupric oxide. When we use a reducing agent carbon, it gives zinc and carbon monoxide. So reduction means what? Removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen, or oxidation number decreases and gain of electron. Any one point is placed here. Here oxygen is removed and oxidation number decreases, +2 to 0. Zinc +2, here zinc 0. The same manner we can have in manganese oxide and chromic oxide also, right? So oxygen is removed, metal oxide turns to metal. That is called reduction. Reduction is done by carbon reducing agent. Likewise, reduction by hydrogen. So addition of hydrogen also reduction, right? So here silver oxide, right? With the hydrogen it gives us silver and water, and ferric oxide, right? So mixture of ferric and ferrous oxide, Fe3O4, undergo reduction with hydrogen, then iron and water. So these equations are balanced, simple equation only, right? The first equation you see, zinc we can get from zinc oxide, and carbon, take oxygen, carbon monoxide. Likewise, manganese we can get a manganese oxide and a carbon monoxide. For balancing this equation, Mn 3, right side also 3, and oxygen 4, make it a 4. So right side 4 carbon, left side also 4 carbon. Then chromic oxide, left side 2, right side 2, then oxygen 3, so make it 3, carbon 3, so left side make it 3, right? So silver oxide, left side 2 silver, so right side make it 2, then H2, take oxygen, H2O. Here left side 3 iron, right side 3 iron, then oxygen 4, right side 4, so totally 8 hydrogen, here 4 H2, 8 hydrogen. Now reduction by metal. Reduction by metal. So metal oxides, metallic oxides such as chromic oxide can be reduced by aluminothermic process. So in this process, metal oxide is mixed with the aluminum powder and placed in a fire clay crucible, right? To initiate this reduction process, an ignition mixture, barium peroxide and magnesium usually used. So here the barium peroxide and magnesium, can use it. So barium peroxide turns to barium oxide and magnesium oxide. First step, this is aluminothermic process. Again, from the chromic oxide we can get a chromium. So they use a reducing agent, aluminium, right? So aluminium takes oxygen, Al2O3, alumina will form, and chromium metal can get it. This process is known as aluminothermic process. Here for balancing the equation we see, left side 2 chromium, right side 2 chromium, then right side 2 aluminum, left side 2 aluminum. So oxygen left side 3, right side also 3. Next, the smelting process, the last getting auto reduction. Auto reduction means what? So in this case, the reducing agent is not necessary. So without reducing agent, the reaction will be held. That is called auto reduction. Here mercury sulfide, right? And oxidation turns to addition of oxygen. Mercury is obtained by roasting of its ore, cinnabar. So cinnabar is a ore, HgS plus O2 and Hg. Here mercury oxidation state plus 2, here 0. The sulfur turns to sulfur dioxide. So next topic, refining process. Refining process. So refining means the impurities thoroughly removed. So removal of impurities associated with the isolated crude metal, that is called a refining process. The process of removal of impurities associated with the isolated crude metal, that is called refining process. So thoroughly the impurities are removed in the anode, right? Anode metal. So next, liquefaction. Liquefaction, write a note about liquefaction. So first we should follow the principle for making a liquefaction. The liquefaction, this method is employed to remove the impurities with a high melting point from metal having relatively low melting point, such as tin, lead and mercury and bismuth, right? So to remove the impurities with a high melting point from metals having relatively low melting point, that is called liquefation. Here the impure metal, so what is the procedure? The impure metal is placed on the sloping hearth of a reverberatory furnace. It is heated just above the melting point of the metal in the absence of air. The molten pure metal flows down and the impurities are left behind. So the molten metal is called, and the molten metal, it is collected, right, and this process is called a liquefation and solidified, right. So next, explain the principle of electrolytic refining with an example. Electrolytic refining. So what is the process of electrolytic refining? Here electrolytic refining process of silver is given, right? Silver is given. Here what we have to do, you have to take a rectangle tank, right? So filled with silver nitrate solution, that is called electrolyte, silver nitrate solution, and on the tank limb, so both side we can fix alternatively anode plate of silver. So impurities are present in the silver plate, that kind of plates we have to fixed alternatively. So between two anode, the cathode plates are fixed, right? And during the electrolysis process, right, the anode silver from the anode silver, the silver dissolve in the silver nitrate and deposit in the cathode plate. So pure silver we can get it, right? So actually what is the reaction when the current is passed through the electrodes, right? So alternatively we have to fix the anode, and between the two anodes cathode plates also has to be kept. So when the current is passed through the electrodes, the anode side, so what is the reaction takes place? Silver turn to silver plus and one electron is released. The released electron combined with the Ag plus at the cathode turns to silver. So pure silver we can get in the cathode side, right? So during the electrolysis process, the anode silver atoms lose the electron and enter the solution. The positively charged silver cations migrate towards the cathode and get discharged by gaining electron and deposited on the cathode, right? So anode impurities, from the anode impurities you can get the pure silver in the cathode side. Next, what is zone refining process? What is zone refining process? Here, so what kind of principle they are using? This method is based on the principle of fractional crystallization. So note the point, fractional crystallization. When an impure metal is melted and allowed to solidify, the impurities will prefer to be in the molten region, right? Impurities are more soluble in the melt than in the solid state metal, right? So here, what is the principle? Fractional crystallization. fractional crystallization. The impure metal is melted and we can get a pure metal, right? So the impurities will prefer to be in the molten region, right? That is, the impurities are more soluble in the melt than the solid state of metal. Okay, now I explain. Mobile induction heater, one type of heater we have to fix in a impure rod of the metal, right? At one end we have to fix the mobile induction heater. Now the end of the rod is heated by the heater, which results in melting of the metal on the portion of the rod, right? So where we can fix the mobile induction heater on the rod, that side is melted, right? That's what is given. In this process, the impure metal is taken in the form of a rod. One end of the rod is heated using mobile induction heater, which results in the melting of metal on that portion of the rod. So next step, when the heater is slowly moved to the other end, the pure metal crystallizes, right? Now the mobile induction heater is slowly moved one end to another end of the metallic rod, right? So slowly move to the other end, the pure metal crystallize, while the impurities will move on the adjacent molten zone formed due to the movement of the heater. So slowly, while it is moving slowly, so where the mobile induction heater is moving, along that impurities also is melted and moving, right? Now as the heater moves further away, the molten zone containing impurities also moves along with it, right? Now the process is repeated, then only we can get a pure metal, right? The process is repeated several times by moving the heater in the same direction again and again to achieve the desired purity level in the rod. Next, this process is carried out in an inert gas atmosphere, right, to prevent the oxidation of metal. So which kind of rod we are using, that rod should not oxidized. That is important. So that's why this process is carried out in an inert gas atmosphere. So what are the metals and all we can purify in the zone refining process? Germanium, silicon, gallium. So mostly these metals are used as a semiconductor or refined using this process. So this is very, very important. 5 more question. Zone refining process, right? Next, how to get a pure nickel. The process name is Mons process. Mons process for refining nickel. So what kind of question we can ask? Describe a method for refining nickel. Here, the impure nickel is heated in a stream of carbon monoxide at around 350 Kelvin. The nickel reacts with carbon monoxide to form a highly volatile nickel tetracarbonate. The solid impurities are left behind. The first we have to take a impure nickel. So left side, the right hand side, impure nickel, solid state. We can get it and heated with carbon monoxide, right? So we can get a complex. At which degree? 350 Kelvin temperature, right? So combination reaction held, right? Now on heating the nickel tetracarbonyl complex again 460 Kelvin. At 350 Kelvin combination occurs. At 460 Kelvin decomposition occurs. from the complex we can get, so again we can write it. So from the complex we can get it pure nickel. So nickel Ni rate with 4 carbonyl NiCO4. From NiCO4 the decomposition occurs at 460 Kelvin, we can get a pure nickel Ni plus 4CO. This process known as Mons process for refining nickel. Next question, explain the extraction of copper from copper pyrite. Copper pyrite. Here the extraction of copper from copper pyrite, the concentrated ore is heated in a reverberatory furnace after mixing with silica and acetic flux. Acetic flux. Here copper pyrite ore has to be taken in a reverberatory furnace after mixing with silica and acetic flux. So why we have to take a silica and acetic flux? So reason what is that? Here the ferrous oxide is present in the copper pyrite ore, formed due to the melting, is basic in nature and combined with the silica to form a ferrous silicate, right? Ferrous silicate. So first step, we can get a slag, non-metallic impurities, right? So we need only copper from the copper pyrite. So the ferrous oxide turns to ferrous silicate by using flux or silica. So silica take the ferrous oxide and turns to ferrous silicate. That is not required for extracting copper. Is a slag, insoluble impurities. So that's why we can add silica or acetic flux. Now the remaining metal sulfide, here from the copper pyrite, cuprous sulfide and ferrous sulfide are present, are mutually soluble and form a copper mate. Right? Let us see the equation. So copper pyrite ore, what's the formula? CuFeS2. On oxidation, roasting process, here the iron sulfide, right? Iron present in the copper pyrite, so turns to iron sulfide, and copper turns to cuprous sulfide, and sulfur also present, right? So sulfur takes oxygen, sulfur dioxide. For balancing this equation, right side we see cuprous sulfide Cu2, so left side make it 2. Now iron also 2 left side, so right side make it 2 for balancing. So iron 2, then sulfur, after writing the 2, 4 sulfur, here also 2, 1 3, and the third one 4. Now we see the oxygen, left side 2, right side 2. Next, so we need the cuprous sulfide, so from that only copper is extracted. So the ferrous sulfide is not required, so ferrous sulfide on oxidation it gives a ferrous oxide and a sulfur dioxide. The ferrous oxide, how it is removed? When we use the flux silica takes a ferrous oxide gangue impurities and take as slag. It is not required, right? It is removed. Insoluble, soluble impurities, FeSiO3. The matte is separated from the slag and fed to the converting furnace, right? Now the ferrous sulfide present in the matte is first oxidized to ferrous oxide. Already we have seen. This is removed by slag, the formation with the silica, right? here the remaining. So in this equation we have seen, so the remaining copper sulfide, so copper pyrite tends to copper sulfide, the further oxidized to its oxide, which is subsequently converted to metallic copper. So how to get the copper, pure copper from copper sulfide, cuprous sulfide, right? So the cuprous sulfide on oxidation, it gives cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide, right? For balance in this equation we see left side 2 copper, right side 2 copper, right? And the left side 1 sulfur, right side also 1 sulfur, oxygen, right side 3 oxygen, so make it 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, 3 oxygen, right? Here cuprous oxide and cuprous sulfide, so both we can get it. So from that we can get a copper, so copper and sulfur takes oxygen, sulfur dioxide. So how to balance this equation? Here right side we see copper only 1, but left side 2, plus 2 4 copper, left side 1 oxygen, right side 2 oxygen. So first we see the copper 1, here 4. So next you see the oxygen, right side 2 oxygen, so left side only 1, so make it 2 Cu 2 O, right? Now oxygen is balanced and the copper is unbalanced, so make it copper to balance. 2 Cu2 means 4 copper plus here 2, 6, so right side also make it 6. So in the third step equation is balanced, copper balanced, sulfur balanced, oxygen also balanced. So from copper pyrite CuFeS2 we can get a pure copper. The process known as extraction of copper, right? The metallic copper is solidified and it has blister appearance due to evolution of sulfur dioxide. Here the last process, sulfur dioxide is released out. The evolution of sulfur dioxide gas form in this process, so that's why the noodles appear in the copper, right? In the cathode, the anode plate, right? The anode plate of the copper, noodles appear, so that noodles is called as blister copper. Okay, next write a short note about Van Arkel method. The Van Arkel method for refining zirconium and titanium, right? Van Arkel method only for refining zirconium and titanium. Here this method is based on the thermal decomposition of metal compounds, which lead to the formation of pure metal, titanium and zirconium can be purified using this method, right? So based on thermal decomposition method. Here the first you have to take the impure titanium metal is heated in an evacuated vessel with iodine, right, at the temperature 550 Kelvin. So the impure titanium combined with the iodine, it gives volatile titanium tetraiodide, TiI4, it's a vapor, right? So the impurities are left behind, they do not react with the iodine, right? So first combination takes place, and next you have to take the volatile titanium tetraiodide vapor is passed over the tungsten filament at temperature is raised 1800 Kelvin. Now the titanium tetraiodide is decomposed and a pure titanium is deposited on the filament, right? So we can get the byproduct iodine again. So the iodine is reused. So first combination, second one decomposition combination. So impure titanium turns to pure titanium. This process is known as Van Arkel method. Thank you.